Hello, I thought it was time that I made a video for you guys talking a little bit about what hypnosis actually is and how it works, because it's not something that's very well understood. And I guess I'll start first with what hypnosis isn't. It's not mind control, it's not scary, it's not a trick, it is real, and it's not, voodoo or magic or anything like that. Hypnosis is a really natural emotional process, and if you go see a hypnotherapist or a hypnotist, they're really just like a guide guiding you through an internal process. But what does all that mean, right? That doesn't mean, it's really vague, right? It's still really hard to understand. So I've got a very fancy diagram to explain to you a little bit about your subconscious mind, because if we're going to understand hypnosis, we have to understand the basics of our subconscious mind. Very fancy. So if this is your mind, you've got about 20% of your mind power is in your conscious mind. These are your rational, logical, everyday thoughts. And then 80%, everything else, is your subconscious mind. And think of your subconscious mind as your emotional mind. And your emotions drive all of your behavior, all of it. And so this is where we do the work in hypnosis. You'll see this line here through, and that line is something we call the critical factor. And basically it's a barrier into a barrier between your conscious and your subconscious mind. And it rejects or accepts ideas. So it either lets them in or rejects them. So, a good way to understand this is on a very basic level, if somebody comes up to you and says, if somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, Kate, I love your blue shirt," right? Well, that's going to very quickly kind of filter through all of my memories. My mom taught me my colors, and it was reinforced by my teachers, and I know what the sky is blue, so I'm going to reject that idea. That is not an idea, and I'm going to think you're a little, so I'm going to reject that. But on an emotional level, let's have another example. So let's say you get stuck dating the same kinds of people all the time, and these are not very healthy for you. You always go after guys who treat you like crap. So your friends tell you, now there's an emotional reason why you're attracted to that kind of person, and that's embedded deep in your subconscious mind, in your feeling mind, right? And then you've got all these rational, logical thoughts. You're like, he's not good for me. I shouldn't be attracted to him. I should date guys who treat me well. Your friends are like, he's terrible. Your mom tells you not to date him, and everything they're saying is true, right? But like ping pong balls, they're just bouncing off this barrier because you have a much more powerful idea in your emotional mind that's attracting you to this person. And no matter how many podcasts or books you read or self-help products you try, it just doesn't sink in on an emotional level. And you're driven back to these bad behavior patterns, right? No matter how many logical, conscious thoughts tell you to do otherwise. So, hypnosis. Hypnosis is not, anything that's actually that hard to understand. It just hasn't been explained very well. So that critical factor, that is critical to the process of hypnosis. We want that to basically go to sleep. What I mean by that is, when you're dreaming, when you fall asleep at night and you're dreaming, and you're walking around and all of a sudden you start flapping your arms and you fly in your dream. You don't wake up and go, whoa, 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 that can't happen. That's not real. No, you just go with it, right? Because your critical factor is basically at rest. And then you're doing all of this emotional work in your subconscious mind while you sleep, right? We all know that. We know that you kind of deal with your emotions in your sleep. You wake up and you're like, oh man, that was a crazy dream. What did that mean, right? Because we all have a basic understanding that that subconscious process is happening while we're sleeping. So that critical factor is basically at rest. And that's what we want to do when we hypnotize you. We want to put that critical factor at rest so that these new positive ideas can get past that barrier and get deep into your emotional mind, into your subconscious, and grow. So how do we put a critical factor to sleep? Well, just like if I said to you right now, go to sleep. Well, you wouldn't be able to do it, right? You can't make yourself just go to sleep instantly. But you can allow yourself to get into the patterns of sleep. You can allow signals of sleep to take you to that state. For example, you could put on your pajamas and you could close the blinds and turn off all the lights. You could have your cup of tea that you have before bed. You could read a book. You could listen to some relaxing music or take a hot bath. All of these things are signals, whatever your bedtime routine is. If you started to do them and you started to, breathe a little deeper, relax your muscles, let your mind wander, all of those things would signal to your body, oh, it's time for sleep now. And you allow yourself to rest, right? You can also do the opposite. You can stop yourself. If you're like, I'm exhausted, and you get into bed and you don't allow yourself to relax, you don't allow those signals to take effect in your body, you don't allow that mind to relax, you don't take those deep breaths, you don't do all of those things, then you won't let yourself sleep, right? So it is a process. Hypnosis and allowing that critical factor to be at rest is a process of allowance. And that means that you, as the person who's being hypnotized, you have complete control. It is your choice whether you listen to those signals that we give you. We do a variety of relaxation techniques, for example, to signal to your body that it's time for rest in order to get that critical factor to sleep, but you have to allow it. So nobody can make you do anything in hypnosis. So to reiterate, we have a critical factor and we want to put it to rest, just like it does when you're in the dream state. And in order to do that, we send a variety of signals, which is something that hypnotists that you work with, or if you work with me, this is something we have a lot of tools in our toolkit, different ways to signal to your mind that it is time to rest that critical factor. So that's all we're doing. And everybody's a little different. Everybody responds to different signals. And that's my job, is to figure that out for you. And then once you allow that process to happen, then this barrier is at rest. And now we can access all of this stuff deeper in your emotional mind. And we can do the work together to get rid of those negative belief systems that are rooted pretty deeply down in here and replace them with positive ones. And because they're deep in your emotional mind, they're very, very powerful. There's something to understand, when you face problems that you've been trying to deal with for a long time unsuccessfully, you're using your conscious mind, you're using willpower. And whenever you have opposing ideas in your subconscious and conscious mind, your subconscious mind will always win no matter what. So this is why it's very hard to change using conscious thought. That's why you could watch, all the videos, all the self-help and read the books and you're like, these are great ideas, and they are. You're like, but yet you still just don't really have the get up and go to put them to action. And that's because you've got some opposing thoughts deep in your subconscious mind, keeping you from doing that. So all we're doing when I hypnotize you, when anyone hypnotizes you, all they're doing is signaling to your body that it's time to rest, and to your mind, you allow that to happen. You get into a relaxed state where your critical factor isn't in the way. And then we get in there and we deal with those negative belief systems. We replace them with positive belief systems for whatever you're dealing with. And now they're rooted deep in your subconscious, and you can allow them to grow. And so it's a really powerful process. I hope this has made sense to you and demystified it a little bit, because it's actually really cool. It is real, it's powerful, and it's not voodoo. So I hope this has helped you understand hypnosis a little bit. If you have any questions, please shoot me a DM. I'm here. I'm here for you. I will answer as many questions as I can. If you'd like to book a session, you can do so with me. I've got links for that. You just click book a session, or if you're interested in multiple sessions, if you want to do some more longer term coaching for whatever you've got going on in your life, I've got packages for that. So looking forward to hearing from you. Hope that made sense. Hope you get it now. Thanks, guys.